Yeah. Good morning and happy Friday. So my name is Jen Bailey. I'm a VSG athlete. If you're new here, I had VSG surgery March 2nd, 2021. If you've been with me, you already know this info. My goal for my channel is to help show other people who have gone through the process or are going through the process, just the different things that come along with it. There wasn't a lot of info out there for me because I'm a long distance runner, and so I've tried to kind of make my own way with it, figuring out how to navigate that. And it's gone pretty well, but you check out my journey, you'll see some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't, and how I had to learn and pivot from it. So today I wanted to go over returning to work post VSG, post gastric sleeve, post weight loss surgery, whatever you want to call it. It's the one where they clip out the 80% of your tummy and they leave us with that fun little banana straw pouch looking thing. I don't know why they call it a pouch after it's still our tummy. It's just tiny. So that's what we go with. I call it a tiny tummy. If you're part of the tiny tummy family, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. So yeah, we'll go over some of the info again. Like, this is info on things that I've personally experienced. I'm not a doctor. There's plenty of things that I've researched along the way, and I'm just trying to give some of that like fun tidbits so you know what you're in for, and just based off of my experience as well. So take that as you will. All right. Oh gosh, I hear a door open. Hopefully Karma doesn't. Oh, she's coming. Okay. Hopefully he won't mess with. I'm sorry.
The music.
Oh, okay. Hi, hello, I love you. Yes, we're on. Okay. That's my dog Karma. He is my emotional support dog. Doesn't know it. He's not official, but he really is. And so, like, yeah, that's my guy. Sometimes he jumps here on the couch with me. It's where I have my mouse and I use all my clickies. One time he actually clicked us off. So we're just hoping that doesn't happen today. But yeah, let's get into it. So first little chunk of info. Most patients can return to work 2 to 4 weeks after gastric sleeve surgery. Some may be able to work from home as early as 1 week. Hey, Karma, can we come down? Yeah, okay, thanks. Things depend on what your job is, what your career is, what you have going on, because there are different, what's the word? Karma, find the word for me. Restrictions that, we have post-surgery. We have to really take care of ourselves. It's a whole new way of eating, being hydrated, and post-surgery, we're just focusing on liquids and squishy things the first few weeks to a month. So it's a whole process in itself. And yeah, 2 to 4 weeks, just depending on what's going on with you. Everybody is different. So again, oh my God, the lights. Okay, he's crazy. He just ran and almost broke our light. On average, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the incisions to heal, and 6 to 8 weeks for the stomach staple line to heal. So the stomach staple line, that's internal. It's kind of like a train track, like the way, it is in there. They're just, yeah. If you have YouTube, you can go on there and check it out. There's a lot of cool like videos of the in it part and ones that are just illustrations of it. But If you go backwards 1 week on my videos, I did show a couple pictures of what my incision lines look like post-surgery, which they were like a little weird and ugly and kind of concerning. But then a few weeks after, they just look like little scabs. So it's not crazy. Like mine were just glued shut. It happens. But these are things we have to be mindful of when we're trying to get back into day-to-day life. We have to take it easy. We can't just be like up and about, and our bodies are going to feel it. So those are the average. Again, everybody is different. The physical demands. So again, what works with this is physical demands and activity level required to do your job will affect the time you need to take off. Again, if you're in construction, it's probably going to be a hot minute. You know, we have some things our bodies need to work through. Some of those factors include your type of work. So returning to a desk job, going to be way different than going to construction. Desk job is going to be a little easier on us, a little more laid back, you know, that versus going out there and being more physical with things. We have those restrictions. We can't just start going home and lifting 30 pounds. I mean, I was even told like, girl, you can't vacuum for a couple weeks. And I was like, what in the heck is like, that's some basic stuff. Vacuuming, like you're just like push, pull, go. And they're like, no. So this is, you know, we all have different experiences, different restrictions. These are just some of like the generalized average ones. Again, overall healing process. This is another factor in that everyone heals differently and at their own pace, depending on how you went into this surgery, is going to be a little different when you come out of it. My surgery, I didn't have to stay in the hospital overnight. Yes, I went in chunky, but I was still like physically okay. It was kind of like an 8-hour job. Like I went in at 7 or 8 and I was out by like 4:30. So they didn't keep me overnight. And I remember when I woke up and they were like, okay, honey, we're going to try and like scoot your body up a little. And even though I was groggy, I was like, oh, you want me to scoot up? And so I grabbed the edges, the bars on the bed, and I just launched myself up. And they were like, oh my gosh, okay, you could do it. But I mean, maybe, I don't know, that's just me. I'm different. I have had a couple other surgeries on my guts before. Like I had my appendix out, I had my gallbladder out, and I've had 2 C-sections. So the incisions that were there for gastric sleeve and the aches, it wasn't crazy painful. I mean, it wasn't even painful compared to the other things. Like C-section was way crazy. But you know, they were just like, cool. They had me walk around, did that, and I was out of there by early afternoon. So everyone's different. Yes, when you come home, you're tired. I think that's for all. You know, our body just went through a lot. So in my personal journey, my surgery was March 2nd. I was here, I putzed around the house, I did a lot of walking, I tried and a lot was just like literally walking around the house, going to the backyard walking, that kind of stuff. I tried doing a couple basic walks outside, like down the street and back. That was tough. Even though I was running like miles, you know, before surgery. Post-surgery, my body was different, and it was tired because of things that I could take in, the nutrition wise, and it just made me tired. So my first real outing was going to get a pedicure March 13th. I know this because I took a photo, because I remember thinking, like, this is tough. You're sitting there in the chair, pedicures, your feet are in the water, all that. But I just remember feeling achy. And then, they have you lift one leg. So you're giving them a foot to work with, whether it's leaning on something or they're kind of holding it for you while they're doing their scrub. And I had to brace myself because that lifting up a leg required some ab usage. And I was like, maybe I did this a little too early, but I powered through it. It was like, an hour. That was my first outing though. So it worked. I made it through it. Didn't hurt anything. It was just super easy. But, if you're working, maybe doing those things, like depending on your situation, might take a hot minute. When I returned to work, that was March 19th. So again, I have another, like, through my Google photos, that's how I know these dates. My job back then was a mobile loan signing agent. So, like, yeah, I still do that stuff, but that was my main thing. I took the job March 19th, and I had to drive like an hour to that job. And that was a little uncomfortable, just sitting there, and you don't realize how much, like, kind of body strength you need to brace yourself when you drive. The tiniest little things affected me, and I was like, well, I feel good, so I'm going to do this. And then when I sat there and I kind of lean over, I'm leaning on a table, I'm helping, people sign things and whatnot, and just pointing to different things on paper. I was very aware that my guts were still healing, and I had to take like my water and stuff, and I still had to be mindful of sipping every 15 minutes. So it wasn't just like, oh, have the surgery March 2nd, boom, back at work March 19th, and like life is good. I had to be very conscious, and I'm sure you will too when you get back to it. There's a lot that goes in this, and in order to keep ourselves on track, we got to do these things. Another factor, returning to work depends on how your recovery goes. If you experience any complications, that can cause the healing process to take longer. So luckily, for myself, I didn't have complications. I was just super like lucky and grateful in that sense. Did everything they asked of me. Again, Kaiser was fantastic, whether they like scared me into it or not. Like, I like to joke like that because they were very, very good at saying, these are the problems that can happen if you don't follow this, or these are the ways that you can stray or stretch your tiny tummy if you don't eat this certain way, if you don't follow the food plan, and take your vitamins and all that. So I was really hyper aware of everything, and it helped in the long run. So I'm grateful for all the info that they gave me. But some people will have complications, whether the staples didn't seal correctly and they may have to go in because there's some kind of leakage, or an incision may bust open if it wasn't sealed all the way. Like, who knows? There's a whole slew of things that could happen, or you just get dehydrated because you're not taking in enough and you have to go into the hospital or urgent care to get an IV. There's all kinds of things. So again, we just take this as like kind of the average, give you my experience, but your body best. And if there's something going on, reach out to your specialist, your doctor. There's usually a team behind that, whether it's like the weight loss people. Like for me, I had, I think, like 3 people in the weight loss area. I had the the therapist, I had the surgeon, his phone number, and my regular doctor, and one other person. So there was a whole chunk that I could reach out to for questions if something came up, and I couldn't go to one, I went to the other. Um, Again, another factor, heavy lifting. If you lift heavy objects, 10 pounds or more, you should plan to take 4 weeks off. Yeah, because we can't lift things for fear of messing up something that's going on in there. Our body just went through a lot. So mine, yeah, was like the 10 pounder, which I was like, really? I don't even think, again, vacuuming is that big a deal, but for them it was, so I didn't do that. But yeah, we have these restrictions in place to keep us safe, and to keep things going as smooth as possible. So definitely stick to it. One of the last factors I wanted to touch on and put the little asterisk is, we can feel very weak. We're going from this giant tummy where we could eat whatever we want when we want, which is what got us to that situation where we had the surgery. And now we have fewer calories, less hydration, even though we're trying with this little tiny tummy. But it's going to make us feel weak and tired for a hot minute. And that's something we have to be mindful of. So keep that in your head, because coming out of it, some days you may feel like, yes, I'm ready. But then you get out there and you're like, man, that 20-minute drive and 15 minutes at the store like wiped me out. So you're thinking about going back to work a week after, maybe give it a little more time if you can. If you're available to work from home and you just pop that laptop in front of you, more power to you, because yeah, you'll be productive that way, and still be able to like let your body recover as best as it can. But feeling weak is definitely a thing, and it lingers for a cool minute, but it's ebbs and flows with that one. It's not a forever thing. So yeah, those are some of the factors. Those are the things returning to work, my journey with it. And yeah, I did a few things. I kind of jumped back into it. I think I ended up doing like a bunch of signings the last couple weeks of March. And then I was like, girl, we gotta chill out for a week or so. Cause yeah, I just kind of went off into it, running, but not running, I got this. And I didn't have it. I had to pump the brakes. But we're all different. So if you got the strength, the stamina, all of that good stuff going, then great. Just don't overdo it. That's pretty much, where we're at with it. So let's see this. Just MJ. So interesting. I had to stay overnight, but didn't really have pain, just mild soreness here and there. Okay, see, we are different. They had to stay overnight. But yeah, the soreness, the surgery isn't crazy. It's not, I have watched a bunch of my 600-pound lives, and to see these people like, oh my gosh, and it's so awful, and I can't do this. I'm thinking like, am I making the right decision? And then I did, but it wasn't everybody on that show that did that, but the ones that did it made it real dramatic. And look, same here. Mild soreness here and there. Samesies. The soreness. It wasn't something that's so awful that I would be like, oh, don't get the surgery. No. Quality of life skyrockets. The things you're able to do skyrockets. The people that go in it that are having to take a lot of prescription medication, whether it's for diabetes, the high blood pressure, all those things, things start to fall off over time as your body gets healthier. So mild soreness here and there, put me in because it was absolutely worth it. Um, but yeah, that's where we're at. So with returning to work, you don't have to take 2 months off, 3 months off, none of that. It's just depending on what your body needs and really, going back anywhere from a couple weeks to, you know, a few, maybe a month after at most, depending on your job, what your career is. I have heard some people have gone a few days, like 4 or 5 days after. Maybe those are the, work from home, throw a laptop on their lap and like go at it. Great. I don't know. I couldn't imagine going in 4 or 5 days after just because I was tired. I was sleepy a lot because of my body not getting all the nutrients that it could. So, we go through a lot. Um, I admit, after my 4-week FMLA, returning to remote work, I got on the treadmill way too soon. Woo, almost passed out. Yep, lesson learned. Walking, but listen to my body since I get tired easily. Exactly. I love that. So you learn, you live and learn. And how it goes. I think that's, yeah, listening to your body is key in this. We are all very different in our journeys, but listening to ourselves. Don't push yourself too fast because it could be something happens later on that's not good for you. And we don't want to undo the surgery, the hard work put in, all of that stuff. It's just not worth it, So follow what your doctors tell you. Let's see. Krista, hello. Same for me. Stayed overnight. Physical pain wasn't bad. It was the mental processing and focus on getting in liquids and protein that I decided to take 2 weeks off from my desk job work. Yep, exactly. And that mental thing, it's such a big deal of, before I was able to like glug, glug, glug a whole water bottle in like a couple minutes. That was it. It was just, and at this point we're using like the little, baby cup things that they give us, the teeny tiny ones. They put like 2 Tylenol in at the hospital and they're like, here's your Tylenol. And that's what we had to start sipping on. So, getting those and that protein, oh my gosh, yeah. So there's a whole thing, like list of things we need to be doing post-surgery. And yeah, it's a lot, but good job taking 2 weeks off. Like, your body, girl, you do you. Let's see what this guy has to say. Running for him. You were useless when I did my 4x4 by 48. So we had a fundraiser, and I told him, it was like, oh, I still want to be able to help, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, girl, no, you got to take like your time. You got to rest. You got to like relax. Because I think my surgery date was just a few days. He did this on the weekend. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be useful. It's going to be great. And he's like, no. So I think I made him like one snack because in my head I was like, he's going to be running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So he was in and out of the house and going to different businesses to like do that. So I'm like, okay, I have all these chunks of time to rest. I'm going to have a snack for him every time, something. I think I lasted two of those times in, and that was it. And I was like, I love you, but I can't. And he's like, it's okay. I knew it. Like, don't worry about it. So we joke about that all the time because, yeah, it wasn't happening. But I had to listen to my body. And I wasn't in the very beginning. So he definitely like helped me stay on track with that. So it was fun. Also similar, I got cleared for physical activity and decided to do some bicycle. What? I was so afraid to do anything involving the guts. Oh my goodness. Girl, you again, but see, here we are. We're thinking, I'm feeling good enough. I can do this. And we do it, and we're like, probably not the best idea in that moment. Um, but yeah, that's, that was it. Uh, Maybe not bicycle crutches. Good Lord. That's a lot. I like your energy. Nope. Nope. It was VSG surgery. It was right after that. So yeah, it was tough, buddy. But we powered through it. And you set me straight, and I thank you for that. Yeah, bicycle crutches, bad idea. Anything the guts around, no bueno. Because they did, the laparoscopic, they go in, they're noodling around with things. You still have these incisions, you still have these uh, areas that are healing, even though it's laparoscopic, there was a hole punctured through your body, multiple ones. So yeah, bad idea. Let's not try that. Smalls is a here. Yes. I love Smalls. Thank you so much for being here, sir. If you don't know, this guy is amazing. He is an inch taller than me. He runs damn fast, and that is one of my goals, is to get up to his level, especially now that, I'm coming into my place where I've got my nutrition set, I've got my hydration set, and every year, post surgery is a work in progress. So he is amazing. He gives me hope, and I love this guy. So thank you so much for joining. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's one of my things you're gonna see. I want to be at that level. I want that marathon, the under 3 hours. It's gonna take some time. Don't get me wrong. This is gonna be years in the making, but it's gonna be worth it. Every step, there's not really blood unless I fall, but the sweat and the tears, they're gonna happen, and I am so looking forward to it. Smalls is the man, yes he is. And he loves watermelon. Looking forward to this whole summer series where he finds the best watermelons. It's fun. It's fun watching his content. So he's a great guy. Fully support him, and I want to be running alongside him in the next few years. But it's going to take a hot minute. That's okay. We are all works in progress. So yeah, that's where we're at. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Oh my gosh, I love and appreciate you all. And thank you for giving, your 2 cents, your 2 pennies, your life, your little nuggets of what's happened in your life. But again, the surgery isn't crazy painful. It's worth absolutely going through it. So don't worry about the things you see on TV, the 600-pound. Some people are more dramatic. But for the rest of us, it's absolutely worth it. So yeah, feel free to follow along on my journey. Instagram at Jen_Bailey17, Strava, free app, tracks the activities. I'm on there as Jen Bailey. You can see where things are for me. I've had a little bit of like a cold or allergies, or I don't know what the hell it is, but I did try running on Tuesday with our run club. I thought I was okay enough, but I wasn't even a quarter mile in, and I went into a full-on coughing fit. It's just like, shit, girl, we're not ready yet. So I'm gonna chill out, and hopefully by next Tuesday I can be back in the game for real, because I love running. It makes me feel good mentally, emotionally. That is my form of self-care. You may have something very different, whether it's yoga, Zumba, taking walks, putting your toes in the grass and grounding yourself. That's not my thing. I don't like the feeling of it. But, again, we are all different and we're all in different stages of our journey. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And yeah, until next time, enjoy the long weekend. We're super grateful for all of those who have served and, help us get to the freedoms and all that we have currently. So spend time with the ones you love and the ones that make you happy. Um, Keep your boundaries because that's part of your mental health. That's going to, something I am very passionate about. So preserve all of the goodness that you deserve. So until next time, sending light, love, and happiness. Bye.